Zheleni wasn't supposed to try it. Her species, the Threxel, had strict rules about human interaction, especially about human reproduction. The Galactic Union had declared it Tier Red, a forbidden zone of study, due to the unpredictable nature of human biology. But Zheleni had always been curious, far more than her supervisors liked. She was stationed on Earth as an observer, tasked with studying human behavior, learning their social customs, and collecting data, never to interfere, never to experiment. Yet the more she watched, the more fascinated she became. Humans were reckless, emotional, and dangerously physical in ways the Threxel simply weren't. On her homeworld, reproduction was clinical, a genetic misting process, monitored in sterile labs. No sweating, no panting, no cardiovascular stress. But humans did it differently. They called it breeding, but it wasn't just about reproduction. It was bonding, pleasure, obsession, sometimes even a coping mechanism. Zheleni had read thousands of data logs, viewed countless video examples, monitored live feeds from her data implant. The more she learned, the more her curiosity transformed into fixation. How did they survive it? How did they endure such biological chaos without dying? One night, unable to resist any longer, she broke protocol. She logged into human data networks under a false profile. She chose the name Kelly. She activated a local interaction app and posted her first message. Curious about human breeding. Looking for someone patient to teach me. Within minutes, she received dozens of responses, but one stood out, a man named Mark. Mark was gentle, respectful, willing to explain things step by step. They exchanged messages for days, Zheleni asking endless questions while pretending to be human. What does it feel like? How fast does your heart go? Why do you do it if it's so exhausting? Mark laughed at some of her questions, but answered them all. Eventually, they arranged to meet. Zheleni spent the day preparing her human disguise, holographic skin projection, temperature modulation, vocal modulation to sound like a soft-voiced Earth female. She adjusted her tendrils to lie flat against her spine and suppressed her bioluminescent spots. When Mark arrived, she greeted him at the door. He was taller than she expected, warm, his single human heart radiating a steady pulse that her sensory glands picked up immediately. Her 4 hearts fluttered, a bad sign already. She invited him in, tried to calm her racing cardiovascular system. They talked for an hour first, Mark smiling, making her feel comfortable, unaware of what she really was. Then came the physical contact. He reached for her hand. His skin was so warm compared to her cool dermal layers. When he kissed her for the first time, her biolights almost activated in surprise, but she forced them down, focusing on keeping her disguise intact. As the night progressed, things moved faster, just as the data logs had predicted. Her stress pheromones spiked. Her oxygen intake doubled. Her sensory nodes overloaded with tactile feedback. Human breeding was far more intense in person than in theory. Her 4 hearts slammed in her chest like drums. Her lungs couldn't keep up with the air exchange rate. Her neural interface screamed warnings in her mind. Cardiovascular overload risk. Hormonal cascade approaching danger threshold. Zheleni ignored the alerts. She wanted to experience the full process, no matter the cost. When the final phase began, the full physical union, Zheleni's systems went into emergency mode. Her 4th heart, designed for high-gravity conditions, wasn't meant to handle these kinds of biofeedback loops. It misfired, spasmed violently. Pain shot through her body. Her vision blurred. Her bioluminescence broke through her disguise for a moment, glowing under her skin, but Mark was too distracted to notice. Her sensory glands activated emergency nanites, trying to stabilize her, but the experience was overwhelming. This wasn't just reproduction. It was a full-body cardiovascular assault. She understood now why humans obsessed over it. It was chaotic, dangerous, addictive. Her mind raced even as her body failed. No wonder they built entire social systems around this. No wonder they risked death for it. Her heart rhythms collided in her chest. Breath failed her for a moment. Neural interface override. Emergency shutdown sequence initiated. But she forced herself to stay conscious, gripping Mark tightly with trembling fingers. Mark noticed something was wrong. He pulled back, eyes wide. Kelly? Are you okay? You're shaking. Zheleni tried to answer, but only gasped, her lungs failing to regulate properly. Her biolights flickered again. It's fine, she managed through gritted teeth, her translator smoothing the words into calm tones even though she was on the edge of cardiac collapse. Mark panicked. I'm so sorry, I thought this was okay. Did I hurt you? Zheleni collapsed back onto the bed, tendrils twitching involuntarily, heart spasming in random patterns. Her system activated internal repair nanites, but the damage was significant. She lay there, shivering, half in shock, realizing she had just survived what her people would classify as a near-death experience. And humans did this regularly? For fun? For bonding? For emotional connection? Her species would never survive it. Mark hovered nervously beside her, holding her hand, stroking her hair. Do you want to call someone? A doctor? She shook her head weakly. No, just need to rest. Her system slowly stabilized. Nanites repaired the micro-tears in her cardiovascular walls. Her oxygen levels normalized. Her hearts returned to synchronized rhythms after 10 minutes of chaos. She was alive, but only barely. When Mark finally left, still apologizing and worried he'd done something wrong, Zheleni lay in the dark, staring at the ceiling with wide eyes. She activated her neural uplink and composed a secret report to the Galactic Union. Observation Log 772, X. Human breeding practices conclusion. Human reproduction is not merely biological function, but an extreme physical event involving cardiovascular strain, muscular exertion, hormonal floods, and neurochemical overload. Participation by non-human species carries significant medical risk, including but not limited to heart failure, neural collapse, and death. Personal note, I attempted direct participation. The experience was both terrifying and enlightening. I understand now why humans are so fixated on it. Despite the near-cardiac event, I find myself curious. Her biolights pulse faintly in the dark, a soft blue glow fading to calm. Her 4 hearts ached, but her mind spun with new data. She had nearly died.